line, guys, we have our good friend from Atlanta, Indigo Phoenyx. How are you doing, my friend?
Salute, how you doing? I'm good, and yourself?
I'm actually feeling a bit underdressed, if I'm going to be honest, Indigo. You look like I'm just here in my t-shirt. You're all dressed up. Terrible. That's good though. It's good. It's good. It's good. So, I was going to ask. You have a bit of a history with hip hop heads. You've been working with Butcher sort of in the background, doing some work. Could you talk to us about that?
As far as hip hop heads?
Yeah.
Well, I've been working with Weekly Rap Gods, blogging for some years, and they saw me doing my thing with a lot of exclusive interviews and write-ups and hit me up and asked would I like to work with them as well. Weekly Rap Gods had taken a little hiatus from doing the blogging because it was a lot. Being an artist and blogging at the same time can be a bit much. And I was doing like a really big bulk of the writing, and it just became overwhelming, not just for me, but for the editor as well, with all the content being put out. And that's how we linked up, just started writing up some articles on friends and giving them music for myself. And we just connected like that. Been doing that for probably like a year now.
Right. And I want to ask you, you do a lot of other things sort of outside of music. You like write screenplays and stuff like that, which is highly interesting to me. You write horror stuff as well, which I heard.
Yeah.
Like how long have you been doing that?
About 2 or 3 years.
Right.
2 or 3 years. Yeah. I mean, I just saw that help was needed. I'm actually a screenwriter. That is my profession. I have a film writing company, a film company. So I do film business plans, things like that. So I thought it would be easy, like screenwriting. It is kind of easy. It's just the abundance of work you have to do because people always putting stuff out. So, I helped out a little bit. Took the site from where it was at 2K when I started. Right now, I don't know where it's at. It's probably maybe 54, 60,000 right now. But I've been working. I was Jazzo's manager for a couple of years, which is Jay-Z's mentor. Yeah. And that kind of got me into doing podcasts, doing more radio co-host spots. And from there, it just took off. I bought the editorials and the interviews to Weekly Rap Gods. I bought my boy Shazam Sadiq there as well. He started writing after I did an interview with him, and my boy Slim Scorsese. And then we just been writing since then. We haven't really been writing as much now because I'm starting my own blog called Culture Rush and my own podcast. So I've just been working on trying to build that and getting my own brand off the ground.
That's amazing. That's a hell of a lot of work as well to put in. So congrats to you.
It is.
Yeah, because I do such a small amount, and like doing interviews is like the main bulk of what I do a lot of the time. And yeah, and you know how easy that is. It's just me coming on to talk for 20 minutes to someone. It's fairly easy work. Pretty cool.
It's so much easier when you could do some of the audio ones, but when you have ones where people want to do the phone interview and then I have to record it and then translate it over and dictate it. That's when it becomes a little touchy because now that's the extra work you have to do when somebody doesn't want to physically write it or doesn't do the video type of thing. So yeah, it can be tedious. I actually have 2 I'm working on right now, Evil D from Black Moon and Black Poet from Scuba. So I'm working on those still. As an artist, it's kind of, tedious to do because you promoting other artists. You're an artist yourself, but I'm just trying to build the bridge and have all of my stuff collectively working cohesive for the culture. So I want to make sure that I'm contributing on more than one level.
It's amazing. And again, it's an extra way of getting your name out there as well. It's a great name builder as well, doing blogs and stuff. So I would like to take it back to the beginning, if possible. When was the first time you heard hip hop music?
The first time I heard hip hop music? Oh my God, I'm from Brooklyn. So probably since I was born. Yeah, day one, I was probably bopping in my crib to something. I could tell you this, the first project that really got me in love with hip hop was Criminal Minded by
Okay.
Boogie Down Productions. When I heard that, I went crazy. I mean, I felt it was the perfect combination of hip hop. I'm also part Jamaican and Cherokee Indian. And I went to Caribbean private school. So, we play a lot of dance hall music, like, Jamaican style music. So to hear that infused in the hip hop, I thought was so dope to hear. And when I heard Boogie Down Productions and Criminal Minded, I just went crazy and I was in love with hip hop from there. I was a hip hop head since then.
Mm. And sort of what after that sort of guided you into actually making your own music?
Can you talk up a little louder?
Oh, sorry. What after that guided you into making your own music?
Oh man, well, I can honestly say it took years before I really got into spitting myself. Like I started as an adult. I can even say at 19, I got into poetry, and that was kind of the start of it. I converted to Islam and I moved to Macon, Georgia, another part of Georgia, to live in the mosque. And I was practicing Sufism there. And for those who don't know, Sufism is like an extreme form of meditation, self-reflection, prayer. No real interaction with people for real. Of course, no sex.
Right.
Kind of just more on a spiritual journey. But on the weekends, watch TV.
Okay.
So we had a little TV and I saw Oliver Stone, The Doors.
Right.
And it's bugged out because people be like, wow, how did Jim Morrison influence you out of all these people? I watched The Doors and Jim Morrison, the way he wrote his poetry, the way he was uninhibited about his music and how it took off, that really inspired me to turn my poems more so into songs. And then later on down the line, turn my songs, work on raps. And I think for the most part, like I always tell people, Bahamadia was probably one of the first real influences. So some years down the line, I saw her and it kind of clicked with me, but I still never took that leap into it until probably like 2000. I wrote my first rap then to a Queen Latifah beat. And people was like, oh, that's dope. And so, I toyed around. Later on down the line, I got into some loud.com, some Steve Rifkin battle rap site. And just got into that. And from there, I entered the competition, a Wu-Tang competition. And the RZA selected me as top 5 out of thousands of people. And that kind of really sparked me to keep going. Like, wow, the RZA chose me. Now, keep in mind, I hung out with Wu-Tang before things popped. Like we were passing out the Method Man cassettes, like quote unquote old dirty bastards. My daughter's uncle, like we were all cool. We were always chilling. When they came to Atlanta, we were always together. I was literally at the first Gravediggers performance, 9 months pregnant, to meet RZA there to support the crew coming. But he didn't know that was me rapping, of course, because I have not really seen them since probably 2000. So it was an honor to be picked. And I knew that I was picked on my own accord. And I was the only female that was picked. And then later on down the line, I wrote a joint called Allah's Daughter. Now we journeying into MySpace. Salute, Tom. We appreciated you, Tom.
Yes, yes.
We went into MySpace and Professor Griff from Public Enemy hit me up. And he was like, yo, you're hardcore. You spit like a hardcore Brooklyn dude. I have to meet you. And I'm like, well, I am from Brooklyn, but he kind of motivated me to keep going. There've been times where I kind of wanted to fall back from it because I was spitting more conscious raps then. And people would say it's too preachy or this and that. I also had a cousin who was working in the industry. And she was like, well, you don't have the look. As time went by, we got more into the the sexy look, the half naked, stripper type look. Well, you don't have the look. And it kind of discouraged me, and I fell back. And I just came back out after all that time. 2017, I started back writing. I reconnected with my boy Innocent. And my homeboy Jules Polar, who's a producer, was always sending me beats. And he kind of always kept me grounded with the beats, listened to them over the years. And then I just got back into it. Innocent put me on a joint with Lil Fame from MOP, called Straight Up. And then he also linked me with Tech from Smith & Wesson. And me, him, and Tech did a joint. And that just did it from there. I was like, okay, now I really have to be invested in this. So this is how I'm getting where I am now, is just keep going, keep building those connections, keep networking, keep making the music, regardless to what people say. I feel like I messed up by listening to what other people said and discouraged me, about my looks. And, when I could have kept going, I had something to say. And I feel like I learned that I had a disorder in 2009, and I could go blind or deaf due to the situation. And it really inspired me, everything I do, to go really full throttle, to go hard body at doing whatever I can do while I can do it, and be grateful for the blessing of my sight and my hearing, and make the best of it. And that's what motivates me to just give it my all. So when people wonder why I go hard, that's why.
Again, there's a fascinating story you have there. And it's like, it's great to learn that someone, like, you've learned so much in the sense that someone told you to either give it up or like you shouldn't bother. And you've learned from that completely and came out like completely hard.
Right.
A lot of the music I hear, like, you hear a lot of aggression, but there's also like a softer side I feel to your music sometimes as well as like a horror side as well, which is cool to hear.
Yeah.
You mix up a lot of styles. It's really cool to hear.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, how long were you managing Jazz O for?
I managed Jazz O. I think, how long did I manage Jazz? From probably 2010 to 2012. Like, we became really good friends. Like, he was somebody, we'd probably be on the phone all day, or he'd come by the crib, and like, we were just really good friends. He even mentioned me in an article as one of his dearest friends. And I hate he kind of, in time, the distance came between because things were going on, but he was just always a great guy. We were actually part of the same tabernacle because he also converted to Islam. So I'd known him from then. So we have the same school of thought and doctrine, and that's what we kind of built on. And then from there, it was the music and the friendship. And I enjoyed working with him and managing him because most people have an ego, and people would think Jazz would seem mean, but Jazz is really sweet. He had a high level of respect for anything I told him. I think the time I was managing him, I don't know if you saw Game Changers with Bloomberg, but I was managing him at that time, like setting up the trip for him to go to New York to film and do that. So it was at the time when he was really moving around, and I was really trying to get him back out there. It was tough sometimes because a lot of people would talk mess. Oh, he's blackballed because of Jay-Z, this, and that. And I'm like, it's never that, because speaking to Jazz, I could always tell there was a love there.
Yeah.
For Jay-Z, there was just a miscommunication and a misunderstanding that could be easily worked out. And I had people hit me a few times to set up meetings for them to get resolved. But, I stopped the management situation, but he did wind up getting it resolved. And I knew that it will always come to that, because really he had no ill feelings towards Jay. I feel like it was more so hurt because he was his mentor, because he was somebody who really put stock in him. When he had an opportunity, he brought him along with him. And I feel like, as things progress and people get money and things go on, shit happens. And when you have true love and true feelings there for each other as friends, there's nothing you can't resolve. And I'm glad to see that they resolved that. And I just enjoy working with Jazz. He's probably one of the most humble and respectful people I've ever worked with as far as management.
Awesome, awesome. So what about, you also have a label as well, which is Rugged Triad. What kind of acts do you have on the label?
Excuse me?
Sorry, my Scottish accent is coming through really quickly. So, what acts do you have on Rugged Triad?
Oh, the acts on the label. I have Shazam Sadiq. I have Doc Terra from the UK, Rob Walker from the UK. I have Nivek Bogizi. He's from Baltimore, Maryland here. And then I have producers Quake Mob from North Carolina. I also have producers from Nigeria, Techzilla and Quenu Beats. So that's the squad right now as it stands. And all the other members are no longer a part of Triad. So I am the Triad as it stands as the group is just me and Shazam Sadiq. And then I'm gathering a few more members to complete the new Triad that's going to be formed.
It's amazing. Shazam Sadiq, I remember, was co-signed a little bit by Dave Chappelle. Do you remember that music video? He put a shower from Dave at the beginning. I was hyped myself at that time when I heard.
That's my boy. Like, that's one of my best friends. It's crazy because my husband, he's not really into our type of hip hop. So when he's around Bam and I talk about how iconic Bam is, and then I saw something with Bam and Eminem and showed my husband. He was like, "Oh, Bam is somebody." I said, "My friend is an icon." He's so silly. He's like, "My friend is an icon." Like, Shazam is so iconic, and he's just another great person to be around. He's probably one of the one of the people who inspired me the most to keep going, giving me advice about the industry so that I don't quit. Because there's been times again where I feel like, I've been so nice to people. Like, I did so many articles for people in Weekly Rap Gods, and I promoted so many artists and helped kickstart so many careers. But when I came out, it got crickets. Like, there was like nobody reciprocated the support, or nobody really messed with me, because he said, I guess they see you as a competition now, so they're not going to support you. He was like, but I'm going to support you. And he's been with me every step of the way.
It's awesome. That's awesome. Again, you're probably like one of the busiest workers. You do all that, and you do like the sort of screenwriting and rapping. I can't imagine the amount of stuff. So thank you again for taking the time out for this, at least. So crazy. So what do you have upcoming, Indigo, as far as music that we can check out?
Oh my God, let me tell y'all, I'm so excited about being back in the saddle doing this music. I eat, sleep, and breathe this music. I'm working on collectively right now, I can honestly say it's 15 projects, ambitiously. Nice. 3 of them are already done for the most part. They just need some touching up, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, but I'm trying to get out of that and just letting things fly. The next project coming out will be Burn the Sun, which is produced by Body Bag Ben. And that features Jay Cyanide, John Jiggs, Shazam Sadiq, XP the Marksman, Elder Sensei from the Artifacts, JK1 the Supernova, Aztec the Barfly, and Bang Belushi. And then I have Ascension album coming out, which is all female features, produced by my boy Techzilla. And it features Key Turner, the iconic Queen Heroine from the Juggernauts, and Nejma Nefertiti, as well as Aida. And so I'm excited to have a project with all females on it. Then I have another project that's called Ascension with the ladies. Then I have one called Serpent's Venom, produced by JK1 the Supernova, Poison Lilac, produced by Concussion. Then I have one with Quake Mob, which is my in-house producers for Triad, called Zenith. I also have a project coming out with Daddy-O from Stetson Sonic. So I'm working on that project with him. And man, it's just so many projects I have going on. And I have one with Quenu Beats from Triad, which is called Red Brick Dust. And then I'm doing joint projects with Shabam, Jamil Honesty, XP the Marksman. It's so many, but I'm actually knocking them out the park. Like I'm literally close to having 4 to 5 done right now. So
Awesome.
I'm feeling good about it. I feel like people be like, you really be going. I really felt like last year I was lazy. And so this year I'm gonna go a little harder. I want to have enough music that can span the rest of this year all the way into 2022. And that's just where I am right now. So I'm not stopping. And like Diamond is another homie that always gives good advice. Diamond was like, you should have visuals for every song you make, or at least try to make the bulk. So Shabam has definitely been on me to make more videos. And so I got some videos coming. I got a video called Archery with Shabam. And the song is with my boy Mav from The Cloth. And then I'm also doing a joint called Queen's Gambit. And also expect a video from myself and Daddy-O to drop July 23rd called Gun Store Movie. And it's off of his Goat Antidote album. So I'm just working. I'm not stopping for nothing this time. I'm not letting anybody discourage me or throw me off the trail. And I feel like I have a lot of catching up and making up for lost time to do.
Can I go back slightly to the female project you have coming out as well? I have like a small group on Facebook of like people I've interviewed in the past. I left a message up on that group saying that I was going to be interviewing you, and Prowess Testament, I don't know if you know her, and Key Turner got in touch to say they were looking forward to seeing this interview. So that was cool. I'm looking forward to putting that out there. Again, thank you for joining us, Indigo. Much appreciated.
No problem. I just want to say thank you to everybody who supports real hip hop across the board, who rocks with the culture and pushes the culture forward in a positive light. Like, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on here and share this information with you. And stay in touch. Give me your email, and I'll make sure I send you, some exclusive joints. I like to share the music with everybody as much as I can.
Awesome. I will do. No problem at all.